Hey guys, welcome back to the JPM Performance channel. It's of course time for another shop tour, and we had something happen over the weekend. That's one of the things I dislike the most. You know what it is? Let me show you. Daylight savings. It screws me up. I know I probably say this twice a year. I hate daylight savings. Although this is, in my opinion, this is the time we should be in. And now we just cancel daylight savings. You guys with me on this? I bet you are. Anyway, we are March 12th, rolling through March. Okay, lots going on in the shop, always is, never ends. Looking good. Phase 1, okay, so phase 1 is completed on Mike Fro's F-Production Miata engine, and that means oil pan is on, pistons are in, crank is in, oil pump's on, boom, boom, boom. Almost done with the cylinder head, and then we'll jump into phase 2, and we'll have this done and actually be able to get everything into his car. He is planning on picking it up in right about 4 weeks, I believe, is on my schedule. Not going to be an issue. Did get a new car in the shop, and you guys have seen this car, although it's been a while. This is Jake Anton's RX-7. This is the RX-7 that he bought from Bill Miller. So he only ran it once last year after he bought it from Bill, and actually won his first Super Tour race with it down at Hallett. So he had other things going on last year, wasn't able to race it again, so he's brought it to me for season prep. And also, we are ripping out all of the analog gauges and installing an AIM dash. So you can see I have the windshield out, and I have removed all of this. And I imagine this could be our deal of the week. We'll have to see. I'm sure Jake wants to get rid of this stuff. But nice autometer gauges. I mean, this is good stuff. Also an Innovate air fuel ratio, and this car had an AIM Solo 2 in it. So all of this stuff's going away. I'm sure that he would sell it if any of you are interested, but this is probably the last rotary engine that I built. I built it for Bill. It's been a bunch of years ago, but it doesn't have a lot of time on it. Still starts up like that, runs good. This was one of the really good, powerful 13B street ports. So all the fluids, all the maintenance, getting the dash installed. I think we're going to be looking good. I'm glad he's getting it back out. Always good to see an old first-gen RX-7. And this is one of the early ones, early first-gen, and this is how you can tell. Different taillights, and actually the only thing that's different on all these first gens is this rear bodywork. You can see this, how this is recessed. So that means this is like a 79 or 80. This is an early car, but it's super clean. When Bill Miller had it, he restored it, brought it all back to like new. It looks actually really good. I dig it. Okay, so you can see now I've got Ken's Integra sitting over here. We're in a little bit of a hiatus on the Integra for right now because he's not going to be racing this car until Portland, believe it or not. We're going to drag this thing out to Portland. Well, not we, Joe is going to drag this baby out to Portland. Road Atlanta race report. So had a bunch of customers down in Road Atlanta. In F-Production, Ken, Cliff Ira, Stephen Powers, and Rob Garrison brought his F-Production car out, which is actually Ken's old Miata from like 2 Miatas ago. And Rob, if you're watching this, your motor needs a refresh. Last time I built his motor was 2019. Makes me nervous. So 7-year-old engine at this point. Anyway, Ken was on the pole in F-Production and had a great race with Cliff. I mean, they swapped the lead back and forth. If you guys didn't see it, check it out on SCCA's YouTube channel. You can go back and watch the coverage. They have great coverage. It was really fun to watch. Ken made a good pass and ended up just beating Cliff barely, and on Saturday. And then on Sunday, it was drizzling. So I wasn't there. It was drizzling, you know, and Ken called me and we were talking about the conditions, and I hate to give too much information, like too much of a suggestion when I'm not there, but my suggestion is always this. If you think it's wet, your safe bet is always rain tires. Going out in the wet on dries is sketchy. But as it turns out, it looks like it was drying, but it looked like everybody went out on reins. And I'm quite certain that these are probably smoked, because these were brand new reins. So in drying conditions, boy, I'll tell you, it's the worst decision you have to make as a racer, because you don't know what the track is going to do over the 30 minutes. It could rain a little bit more, it could dry out. I think in the end it ended up being that maybe some grooved slicks probably would have been the way to go, but they didn't have a groover with them, and I think pretty much everybody went out on wets. Ken went out, he led for a while, and then Cliff got around him, and then shout out to Stephen Powers, who came from third and rolled through the Hondas in drying conditions to pull out the win. I think he just barely clipped Cliff, just barely, and Ken ended up third. So that was pretty good. Good weekend. Car came back clean. We're going to let it sit here for just a minute. Actually, we had this planned, but we hadn't coated the header, so I unloaded the car out of the trailer, yanked the header, shipped it off for coating, so that's going to probably take 4 weeks to get done. And I'll get back to maintenance on this, but Portland isn't until May. So, and STL had a bunch of Integra guys running, Mike Taylor, John Sewell, and Zolt Ferenczi in his new JPM B18 motor. All three guys had a good weekend from what I hear. Very eventful and exciting, it looked like. And shout out to Danny Stain, who made it back to his first Super Tour weekend, won both A's and STL. But Mike Taylor kept him honest and also nailed him in the door on Saturday's race on the last lap. So Mike's already texted me and told me how he's learned a lesson. So that's all you can ask for. Customer-wise, did we have any more down there? I don't think so. We'll call it good. That's our Road Atlanta race report. So the car's just sitting here ready to go, or ready to and waiting. Let's roll over to the Miata. So last week the transmission was sitting here, and now it is sitting here. So transmission, differential installed, drive shaft in, power plant frame, everything's bolted in. Now I just need to get back to getting the exhaust on, fill everything up with fluids, and then get into this front end. I ended up, here we're going to jump back over to the bench over here. One thing that I'd forgotten about is, when that front end got twisted on that car, we had to clip the front. We didn't have sway bar or brackets. So AWR makes these really heavy duty sway bar brackets that bolt into your Miata frame. Stock Miata sway bar brackets are really spindly and tend to break. So this is an updated sway bar bracket. And then I've got an actual sway bar coming for the car as well. So what I'm trying to do is, for instance, like on Jake's car, I ordered all the sensors and everything I needed for the dash, and all that stuff is coming. Ordered the brackets and the sway bar for the Miata, and all of that stuff is coming in too. Last week we had talked about how I had ordered everything for Dave's car. All I've got left in this big box that used to be full is the oil line stuff, but 626 update. Okay, check it out. All new fuel lines done, all run. Brand new air equip. You can see I used a piece of my carbon fiber from the Mazda 2 as a nice cover here. All of the fuel lines run through the car, as well as, and John will have to come around this side, there's a fuel filter on the floor in the back. You can see that, of course, I have proper bulkhead fittings on everything, and we've got all of our lines done in the back with the regulator right back here. It's kind of hiding, but you can see the new lines, and I've actually powered it up. Already set fuel pressure. We're going to run 50 pounds of fuel pressure in this setup. So we're actually looking really good on that. The next thing for me to move on to are the oil lines. And that is what is in the box over there, ladies and gentlemen. New lines, couple new fittings for the oil temperature that we're going to be installing. I'm going to probably get that done today pretty easily, so we're looking good. Did get the box in for all the silicone hose. I just haven't opened it up yet. And then I will get to fabricating our bracket here for the throttle body too. So actually moving right along, chipping away, looking good. More engines coming in. It's, whew. Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's that time of year too. Although most of these guys have motors they're running, but need to open, need to open, need to open, need to open. 4 I haven't even opened yet, plus everything that's in process. But I have to get these cars ready for the season for these guys. So in the next month, there's going to be a big changeover in the shop with all these cars going to their customers, get into all of these engines, and then we will, believe it or not, it's going to like start the summer engine rebuilding series. So that's a whole nother ball of wax. Mazda 2 wise, check out my beautiful VW push bumper bracket thingamajigger, whatever you want to call it. So I got it installed right where I thought it should be, and then it just was a little too wide right here, so I ended up heating this up and flattening that out, and it fits perfect on the nose. So we are ready to push some Volkswagens. I'm excited. Did get the transmission stuff basically taken care of on this, the main transmission. And then I got to thinking, so what did we do on that? Remember we talked about replacing the synchronizer and the slider hub assembly, which I did. I didn't see a bunch of wear, and I got to thinking about it, and I just got out my book because I want to, even though the detent feels really good to me, I want to get into the detent, and I might shim it just a tick to tighten up that shift rail. We'll see, right before I put it back in. But we are right on the verge of putting this one back in, and then we'll yank this thing apart, see what's broken, see if we can find some parts for that. So beyond that, I got my bracket installed for the wink mirror. You can see it sitting right here. It's not really tight yet, but I'm going to get this thing so she's sitting right about there. Be able to see from the driver's seat, keep it out of the wind. You wouldn't want this sitting out here. You might as well put your hand out while you're going down the road if you're going to do that. So I'm going to stick it right here, be able to see what's going on back here. That's my plan. So appreciate you guys watching as always. Lots going on in the shop and lots more to come. We are not going to have a shop tour next week, right, John? Because John's got to go on vacation, which is good. So 2 weeks. Should have lots done in 2 weeks. Hang tight for that. Of course, if you guys haven't seen it yet, we've got more Rocketeer videos coming down the pipe. And as you can see, the car is gone. And not only is it gone, but the customer loved it. I mean, he loved it, loved it, loved it, and drove it all the way back to Birmingham, Alabama, and made it without significant issues at all. I was a little worried about that just because it's such a brand new build, but he made it and loves it. So, pretty cool. We will be getting into our demo car build over the summer, of course. As soon as I have room for something like that, we'll get started on it. So, appreciate you guys watching. Have a great rest of your week. I'll see you in 2 weeks. Have a great rest of your week.